¿Qué pasa, YouTube? How's it going, everybody? So, I just did this video. I just recorded this. It was good. It was nice. I was happy with it. No audio. My mic was muted. Oh, it's so annoying. It's okay though. It's okay though. I'm still in a good mood, and I'm still gonna do this. I'm not gonna be upset. So if you guys do like the team building video, then please make sure to leave a like. And this match should be up tomorrow at either 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. because I think that's all that's available right now. I'll leave it down in the description as well as what time this will be going up so you guys can know for tomorrow. But yeah, we are facing the South Beach Slowkings, if I'm not mistaken, coached by the one and only sensational GP. David, his channel link and stuff will be down in the description. Make sure to go check him out. Also, the GOAT himself, his Twitter link will be down in the description. Mr. Ellis, the partner in crime for the Durham Druddigons, and one of the huge reasons that we have been able to not only make it to playoffs, but also make it this far into the season, because Ellis is just such a tremendous help when it comes to this, and I praise Ellis every time. And a lot of, for the normal viewers, you may be getting annoyed at this point, but yeah, for the new viewers, Ellis is a monster. He is our assistant coach. But enough about my old boy. Check him out. His Twitter link is down in the description. As you can see from the matchup down below, it's a bit of an interesting matchup. We don't necessarily have a bad matchup, but at the same time, we don't necessarily have too good of a matchup. David's team, depending on what he may bring, will determine how this match is going to go. So, hold on. Let me show you guys what I think David is going to want to bring here. These are the 6 mons that I think David is going to want to bring. Ellis and I thought these are the 6 mons he's going to want to bring. The last mon is either going to be Celebi or Excavalier, maybe Electros, Golurk potentially, but I'm leaning more towards either Celebi or Excavalier, to be honest, because I don't know why he would want to bring Golurk if he already has Landorus to be able to check Terrakion, which is the main reason why he should want to bring Landorus. If he's Swords Dance, then that shouldn't be too big of an issue. If he is Choice Scarf, that also shouldn't be too big of an issue. Actually, I would rather him be Choice Scarf than be a defensive variant to be able to deal with Terrakion. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we will be bringing this week. The squad, as you can see here, we have Vicente the Victini, Thuga the Blastoise, Horsepower the Terrakion, Bruno the Registeel, Evergreen the Shaymin, and then Moonshine the Clefable. So, first off, of course, we're going to start off with Vicente here. Vicente is just running max speed, max special attack. The reason why we have E-Belt over Life Orb is because, one, we don't want to have to take the Life Orb recoil damage to potentially put us in range of a Banded or AV E-Speed coming from Entei. Ellis thinks that Entei will most likely be Assault Vested, because that way he can kind of check the Shaymin a little bit better. That way some pressure is relieved from the Altaria. If he brings Golbat, I guess that could also check Shaymin, but I don't really know why he would want to bring Golbat. I really don't know why. Like, I'm trying to figure out why he would want to bring Golbat. But the good thing about him potentially not bringing Golbat is that if he doesn't bring Golbat, then we will be able to have Roxo for the entire match, which is going to be really great to ensure 2 KOs and potential OKOs from Vicente here. Now, unless the... actually, no, not even Yachi Berry Spadef Bulky Landers is going to be able to take 2 E-Belt Glaciates. Toxic is really just a filler move. U-turn honestly wouldn't be too bad of an option over Toxic. I may talk to Ellis and change this to U-turn because that would be nice for gaining momentum, or if I do predict him to want to bring in Altaria, which actually, yeah, speaking of Altaria, Mega Altaria is a humongous problem if it is going to be Adamant Dragon Dance. If it's Adamant Dragon Dance with max speed, it's not as scary, and what I mean by that is that it's not going to be as bulky, because if he was just Adamant Max Attack with like HP EVs and like Spadef EVs or like Physical Defense EVs, then that is going to be a little bit annoying. But the benefits of that is that he won't be able to outspeed too many things at +2. So if he is just running max attack with no speed, Dragon Dance Altaria is going to be a little bit easier to deal with, although it will be a little bit bulkier, which makes it a little bit more annoying. It'll be nice to know that even at plus 1, he shouldn't be able to outspeed too many things. It's at plus 2 when I need to really be worried about Altaria. So obviously, I'm going to be trying my best to prevent that from happening and prevent him from getting up 2 Dragon Dances with that Mega Altaria. But Vicente is pretty much here to apply a lot of pressure to David. Basically, the combination of Victini, Blastoise, and Shaymin is just too much for David to handle, which is really good for us. At the same time though, Dragon Dance Altaria, Choice Specs Keldeo, and Bandit or AV Entei could be really annoying to us. So obviously I will have to play around those. Glaciate should actually be to a KOing the Mega Altaria unless he's like specially defensive with a lot of HP EVs. Otherwise, if he switches it in on a Glaciate after the -1 speed drop, actually no, we outspeed him regardless, but we should be able to easily just 2 KO him. Toxic, again, it's just really filler. It's to be able to hit an incoming Altaria as well if I wanted to do that. Maybe Keldeo. It'll be really nice to Toxic Porygon too, because that thing is way too fat. It would be nice to Toxic a potential Electros as well, although we do have Psyshock, which is going to be hitting it on the physical side, so even if he has Assault Vest, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. But that's really the reason why we have Psyshock over Psychic, is if he does bring AV Electros or AV Entei, because we can hit it on the physical side, we don't have to worry about Blue Flare or Psychic not potentially KOing those Mons. So yeah, moving down the line, we got good old Mega Blastoise Thuga, the official mascot of the Durham Druddigons himself. Hopefully he can put in some work this match. Skull plus Ice Beam provides a perfect neutral type coverage against David's draft. Well, except Keldeo, but that's why we do have the Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere really is just for Keldeo on the switch-in. And Choice Specs Keldeo shouldn't be able to OHKO Blastoise with any one hit. So if worst comes to worst, I can stay in, get off some get off some Aura Sphere damage, and then hopefully just revenge kill the Keldeo. Rapid Spin, of course, is so we can get rid of rocks. Scald is also going to be nice to burn Keldeo or Electros or the Excavalier. While Ice Beam doesn't do too much damage to Celebi, it can still pressure Celebi and make it to where David may not feel comfortable in switching it in against Blastoise, because Mega Blastoise, as you can see, does have a high base special attack stat, which is really great. So Blastoise is going to be putting a lot of work in this match, I want to say. And basically, like I said, Shaymin, Thuga, and Vicente apply a lot of pressure to David. So while 2 of those will probably be used early to mid game, the final of the 3 can potentially just pick off the rest of David's team. And what I'm hoping for is that either Shaymin or Vicente will be around late game, and then Blastoise can break his team down, along with either Vicente or Shaymin, saving one of those 2 for later in the match. So yeah, Blastoise is going to be doing a lot of work in this match. With this bulk investment, we're able to chew a +2 Earthquake from Landorus if for some reason he decides to bring Dragon Dance, and then we can also take a +1 return from Mega Altaria after Rocks, which is really good. So next off, we have good old Mr. Horsepower himself, Terrakion. The Lord Terrakion has really been impressing me this season. I really didn't think Terrakion was going to be all that great, but I can just see why this thing is such a monster in Draft League format. The Rock Stab is so good, along with a Fighting Stab and a pretty good moveset. Even though it is kind of limited in what it can do, it doesn't matter, because it just does its job so well. And then you have 5 other team members to deal with any counter that your opponent may bring for this Terrakion. So if he really did want to, he could bring Golurk as his last, along with Landorus, to be able to just consistently check the Terrakion. And for those of you who don't know, David actually traded Gastrodon for Golurk to Nappy. So if you remember our match against Nappy, Terrakion was a huge issue for Nappy to deal with because he didn't have Golurk. So unfortunately, David, while he does have Golurk and Landorus, we do have Hidden Power Ice. Now, unless he's max special defensive Landorus with the Yachi Berry, there is no way after Rocks that we do not just 2-hit KO Landers. Basically, if he's max special defense with lefties and we have rocks up, Hidden Power Ice is still doing about 40 to 48%. So there's a good chance that we should be able to 2-hit KO him. But most likely I'm going to try and wear down Landorus a little bit, or try and force it in a couple times before I feel comfortable in going for the Hidden Power Ice. Or if I want to be really aggressive, then I'll just HP Ice right away, get rid of the Yacha Berry. Then that way, mid to late game, Terrakion can just come back in and I can HP Ice again and knock him out. If he Scarf Landorus, that's actually going to be a whole lot easier to deal with, because that way it's not going to be as bulky, which is really great. While it does suck that we don't have Stone Edge, I really don't see why he would want to bring the Golbat. And even if he does bring Golbat, we have Bruno, we have Thuga, and we have Vicente, which can all pressure the Golbat enough to the point where us having Stone Edge shouldn't really matter. Iron Head hits the Mega Altaria for super effective damage, and unless it's max speed at +1, there's no way he should be able to outspeed Terrakion, so we're going to be getting off a huge amount of damage. And then X is there, of course, is for the Celebi if for some reason he does decide to bring it. Like I said, the last mon is more of a toss-up between Excavalier or Celebi, I want to say. Maybe even Golem, now that I think about it. This way you can just kind of check Terrakion a little bit easier. But regardless, though, we should be able to deal with whichever 6th mon he wants to bring. And Terrakion should also be able to apply a lot of pressure to David. So moving down the line, we have good old Bruno the Registeel here, which, a little fun story. We did not have rocks on Registeel. We had Thunder Wave as the final move, because Ellis switched around the moves on Registeel so much to the point where he kind of forgot that we didn't have rocks. So it's just, I just find it kind of funny. I just find it a little bit funny, because rocks are just so important in any and every single team you make. Like, if there's one thing I want people to learn, is always have rocks on any team you make. Defog or not, always have rocks, please. It's really good. Rocks are easily like the most important move in the game. But yeah, the final move was either going to be Thunder Wave, Protect, or Ice Beam, and then I double checked before recording, and I told him, so I have to change it in game. But it's just, I just thought it was just kind of funny. So let's go ahead and get into EV spread. So with max HP and the couple of Spadef EVs, we are actually able to chew 2 modest max special attack Fire Blasts coming from Mega Altaria if he does not get 2 absolute high damage rolls. The 12 attack EVs are just to give Iron Head that extra little bit of damage to be able to hit the Mega Altaria with. Seismic Toss, of course, is going to be able to hit everything else that Iron Head won't be doing as much damage to. Let's say Excavalier, Celebi, Entei potentially on the switch-in, although that's why we have Toxic to be able to catch Entei, Keldeo, or Landorus on the switch-in, or even Mega Altaria if he doesn't have Heal Bell on anything. Even catching Electros is going to be really great. And actually, now that I look at it, AV Electros could be a little bit annoying for this team, but after Toxicing it, I should be able to play around it accordingly. The defensive Vs along with the HP Vs allow us to take a +1 Adamant Earthquake a whole lot better from the Mega Altaria, and I think we can also take a Earthquake from the Landorus as long as he's not boosted to +2. Swordsdance Landorus could be a little bit annoying, but again, if he's not defensive Landorus, then it shouldn't be too big of an issue. If he's like Rock Polish SD, that may be a little scary late game, so I'm going to have to watch out for that. But with Terrakion, I think we're going to be able to apply enough pressure to the Landorus to where he shouldn't be able to Rock Polish or Swords Dance late game. So yeah, I really have to find out what kind of set the Landorus is before determining on how we will be able to deal with it. But yeah, that's pretty much Bruno here. As we move on into Shaymin, Evergreen making her return. The defense investment allow for Keldeo to not to KO us with the secret sword if he is life orbed, unless he gets 2 absolute high damage rolls. If he specs and goes for secret sword, I think he could 2-hit KO us. But if he has specs, then I do have Moonshine and I have Vicente as well. Now, even though we aren't running any special attack investment, yes, I did say Shaymin Vicente and Tortuga would be able to apply a lot of pressure to David's team. And what I mean by that is that while Shaymin does fill the role of being the sole check to Keldeo, it's still going to be able to do enough damage to David's team to where Vicente and Blastoise can pick up those extra KOs or put his mons for those two mons in range of Shaymin to knock them out. Earth Power is over Hidden Power Fire because it also hits Entei upon switch-in for super effective damage. And if we do get the Spadef drop on the Mega Altaria, I think we can actually knock it out with Dazzling Gleam after rocks depending on his EV spread and if he's not especially defensive, which is really good. We can easily take hits from Landers unless he's like Banded Fly or something, which in that case I can just switch out against. But this speed EVs allow us to outspeed Jolly max speed Landers if for some reason he does want to bring that, as opposed to a more bulky variant. Psychic I guess wouldn't be too bad of an option to hit Golbat, but we have Bruno, Tortuga, and Vicente. Again, there's really no reason, I think Ellis said as well, to have Psychic on this move. Not on this move, but on this moveset, yeah. Dazzling Gleam, of course, hits the Altaria for super effective damage. I think that's really it. That's really the only reason why we have Dazzling Gleam. And then Synthesis is so we can keep Shaymin healthy enough to be able to consistently switch into the Keldeo if need be, if it's not choice specs. So moving on to the final mon, we have Moonshine here, which Calm Mind Moonshine actually wouldn't be too bad, but the thing about it is that here we go again. Vicente, Tortuga, and Evergreen just put so much pressure on David's draft that we don't need another setup sweeper. Not to mention that we also have Terrakion. So really, Clefable can just be here to mainly support the rest of the team while not needing to be a Calm Mind sweeper. Knockoff is going to be really nice to knock off the Assault Vests from Excavalier, Entei, and Electros, and potential, well not potential, most likely Violites from Golbat and Porygon 2, as well as maybe even knocking off like a Choice Scarf or a Choice Specs or something if he does have them. Moonblast is going to be doing a solid chunk of damage to the Mega Altaria if he's not running any bulk investment, which is really great because that just means Dragon Dance Altaria is a little less problematic while still being a huge issue. As long as Clefable is near to full HP, we should still kind of be able to check Altaria accordingly. The 4 speed EVs are so we can speed tie with Porygon 2, which I guess putting a little bit of extra speed EVs wouldn't be too bad, but I think that changes the damage rolls from the attacks that we can take. For example, if the Entei isn't banded or life orbed, he only has about a 6% chance to knock us out with Iron Head if he does have it, and I don't think Sacred Sword can knock us out. Flare Blitz actually does a little bit more damage than Iron Head, but if he has Flare Blitz, that's fine. We have Tortuga and Vicente that can still switch into Entei if worst comes to worst, but being able to knock off a Choice Band from Entei is going to be really great. Soft Bolt, of course, is for recovery. Flamethrower is so we can hit the Celebi and Excavalier, mainly Excavalier, for a super effective damage. While Fire Blast would be doing slightly more damage to both, the extra damage output really isn't too necessary because regardless, we're going to be chipping away at David's teams with rocks, because if he doesn't bring Golbat, we have rocks up for the entire match as soon as they get them up. So after a couple of Stealth Rock switch-ins, Flamethrower is still going to be doing enough damage to Assault Vest Excavalier to where it'll knock it out, unless he has Occaberry for some reason, which I don't think you should want to bring Occaberry. But the defense investment allow us, the special defense investment allows for Keldeo to not be able to 2-KO Clefable as long as he's not choice specs. So again, this is where knockoff is really huge, because if we can knock off a potential choice specs on Keldeo or a life orb from Keldeo, that just means it's going to be doing significantly less damage, and between Clefable and Evergreen, it's going to be that much easier to deal with. Moonblast, of course, is for stab. The physical defensive ease, like I said, means that we can take hits a little bit better from the Entei, and I really want to say that's all. The 4 speed EVs are to speed tie with the Golbat, not the Golbat, but with the Porygon 2, as I said, which again, even even if he does win speed ties, I guess it really wouldn't be too big of an issue, and I'm pretty positive that he's not going to be running speed on Porygon 2, because David doesn't seem like the player to do that. But yeah, guys, that was a quicker run through than the original version of the video. I am recording the audio. I can see the little audio moving, spiking. Actually, no, this is about the same length. Regardless, though, yeah, guys, this is the squad that we will be bringing this week to face off against damn it, why do I always forget your team, David? The South Beach Slowkings. And then starting next week, guys, we are officially in the playoffs. We are #1 going into playoffs if we win this match. And then we can hopefully make it to the finals of the UCL. I'm so excited and nervous just thinking about it. Oh man, this is crazy. This is really, really crazy. A part of me honestly didn't think that I would be able to finish the season, but luckily I was able to do so. Actually, I'm a little bit more proud of myself in the fact that I was able to make a team building video for every single week. And of course, a huge help to that is my boy Ellis for helping us out. But just, yeah, I'm really happy that I've been able to upload a team building video every week, and I've been able to make it this far into the season. And if we can win this second season, that will more than make up for us not being able to win, but not being able to finish season 1 of the UCL. So yeah, guys, tomorrow this match should be up at either 2 or 4 p.m. Again, it should be down in the description when the match is going up. Check out Ellis, check out David, check out this match tomorrow. Thank you all for watching, guys. Let me know if you're excited for the Durham Druddigons. And with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow. So later, everybody. Thank you all for watching.